for Cameroon. According to the 45-minute order, I have it on my phone. If you want to listen, I'll send it to you after this show, and you listen to it. Is that do extortion? Because the deal they will do now, say they will bring extra matter at the back. The enemy between the war. It's like the military, they want killing for a code of teaching. It's that doctor they promise for pay you. They don't pay you want that. Which he trying to do that, but to blackmail the he has never surrendered. That ultimate he try to talk, he try to talk, I know the story of the start to the end. Don't talk for the lie as to make people because that dragging the piece and when I'm the one that published and I publish I be and I publish a video. And like extortion and license from him. I advised him the day he called 45 minutes. You know, fine. If he called the PM and others, we need to take their phone. They get up, they don't feel bad. They not have if we get other deal, we I have to say, I'm busy everything. They will do this, they will do that. Why not attack the political game the way they try to get that for them. So when you get them, it call them, it's part of the only that we respond to at the end. I published a video for sure how day. He has never apologized. So I did not say where he will do all these things there. How the one reshuffle, they will change the PM. Only like conspirators then. They actually fail. If you want a good, if you want a peaceful Cameroon, forget a reality.
I say, Susie Sparks, when Nambere called you and you discussed with him for 45 minutes, what did you actually tell him? Were you surprised when he made the video that has gone viral?
Yes, he called me. I think it was a month ago, 1 week towards the end of April. I think so. He called me. We spoke. He tried to talk to me at the talks on TV because there were some that said, "You come back for Bush. You come back for Bush because a true commander will not do that." So he called me now and explained the whole part. About the way they get them, they get for they don't abandon it. But the president is the way to get them. All that they don't get them. And when we try to close this, Kawayari, and order, just no, nothing. You know, you need to eat. He tried for 5 people back until he threatened me. He said, "Go find me."
Now you say you think say he get privileges. Now which privileges the way you think say he don't get that? At least he don't.
He was paid 25. He was paid 25 million.
Okay. We'll be coming back to you. How do we understand the posture of Nambere? I'm sure you watched it. That he laid down his guns, came to Cameroon. He has been in the studio. He was moving around, and then he's in Nigeria and says he needs more.
Yes. I think that the issue here is the manner in which the deal was laid in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, I'll be talking in coded languages because I understand the mafia very well. Mm-hmm. We have some of us who were charged, or some persons, when I say some of us, not me, some persons were charged to take that assignment to make sure that they convinced the fighters from the bush to come out. That was government's position because they needed peace to return, which we'll all agree with the government because peace needs to return. Now, along the line, What simply transpired is that those who were in charge of the negotiation now promised heaven than what was envisaged. Which means we send you to tell Taeyong that Taeyong, come out. This is what we're able to do to you. And then you tell Taeyong that come out. Instead of telling Taeyong that they will give you 5,000 francs to be managing for now, you say Taeyong come out, they will give you a job, they will give you 2 million, they will give you 10 million. So you hyperbole it in such a way that while I'm coming out, I know that my life has changed. Only for me to realize that in the course of coming out, the things the middle people are telling me are not the realities of the ground, which means the middle people came and exaggerated from the assignment given to them. That is where the entire wahala started. But then, alongside with the declaration made by him, you will understand that the position normally, because in any conflict, once an ex-fighter or a rebel leader is brought on the side of the government, the next thing in any government is that they need to use you to also cajole others to come. It's normal for any government, which is not a crime, even at the level of the Cameroon government. That I must admit. Now, the main issue here is that before Nambere came out, I had watched his several videos, blowing grammar and all the like, and I knew that these videos on grammar, they were more of propaganda than the realities on the ground. It corroborates with his recent outing, talking about thousands of fighters that he left. He always succeeded in convincing a few hundred of them, and many are still there. Now, it's giving a semblance that the state should know that there are issues at stake, which means the major is that if the state does not react to more of what he wants, they should know that there's trouble in the land. But it forgets that the state itself is also more intelligent than him 2,000 times. Where his intelligence is starting and ending, that's where that of the state is beginning. He too does not know that. Now, the main issue here is, I will be able to tell you that, sometimes we tell people that when the ex-combatants were striking in Boya, I met some of them, and I told them that you decided to leave, lay down your arms, and come to this center. I would suggest you stay calm for the time being, because the fact you have killed GOs, the fact you have killed military, you have killed police officers, and all the like. You cannot come and they are feeding you in the center. They have not killed you. They are protecting you. And you are eating 3 times a day on state budget. And then you are still demanding for more. When others that you have cut their hands, those that you have sent in the early graves, they have not yet gotten any dime from the state in terms of compensation. I said you were asking too much, you are asking more than Oliver Twist. I spoke to some of them there in Boya. They are watching. They know what I spoke about. The same message I convinced some of them in Bamenda when they were about striking. When they made me in Bamenda and I told them the same message, they are watching. And I told them, I would prefer you stay calm. Those who have decided to come out, just stay calm. Allow the state to think of what to do with you, because if you want to take it as a right, first, it's not a right for you to demand, because you have further done serious harm against the state. The person, those in Bamenda, about 5 of them that are more in Bamenda, they're watching what I'm talking about. And many of them said, but Grand Natura, I didn't listen to it on Natura. I said, no. You can push the state to the wall to do things that they're supposed to do, because they have given you project. We are rearing pigs, chickens, and all the like. Even if the money is not enough compared to what you were getting in terms of ransom in the bushes, in the nearby bushes, all the like. But for now, contend with this one first, and then wait for the others. So you can realize that one of the revendications we get from the Nambere and all the like is because to him, the foundation, as I said, those who went to him are those who crossed him the way he is. Because they had promised heaven and earth, and he knew that there will be a continuous flow of money. Now, even you see him moving, even when he was moving in the interest of security forces, he now felt at the point in time he was more than the brigadier general. Because when they had to use him to fit out the area, the hideouts of the Amber fighters, Nambere was moving alongside with, it's like a god. In fact, he knew that he was a demigod, because he was not communing with the captain, with the colonel, who was relying on him to give them information on how to go about it. So I think that the honest thing he could do, because I got what Spark said, which is correct. You cannot be asking more and making noise when you have not even apologized. People have died because of you. Even the security officer who I killed, they have families, they have wives, they have children and all the like, who are suffering till today. So you don't sit and blow grammar when you have even caused harm on people. I would suggest, if he's watching me too, just stay calm. If you decide to leave the bush and to come, and the government even gave you money, I'm hearing already from, because I never knew that money transpired.
Yeah, but if what the Sparks is saying is true, how do you even ask for more after you were pardoned and then given such amount?
It's the foundation again, Mr. Leo.
Yeah.
It's the foundation, as you see Barrister coming in. They had made him to understand that as you take this part of the money, you're enjoying. Next one is coming. Next one is coming.
but-
But it's not even the government. It is the people who got into the.
Yeah, but I
Bracket.
just want to look at our conscience ourselves.
Once again, we will remind Cameroonians that nationalism is not part of our DNA. You will scarcely see a Cameroonian who will do something because he loves his country. It's always for something. The Nambere case is, for me, a litmus test of the efficiency of the president's insistence on the fighters, the separatist fighters, dropping their weapons. To me, that is a litmus test. Because if we have to consider what Nambere said, he had about 6,500 fighters under his command, and he convinced only a few hundred. So he, according to Yannick, received 200. According to Susie Sparks, 25 million was given to him. Multiply that by 20 or 25 million. You are around 130 million. If it is 20 million, you have around 120 billion francs. So if each fighter in Nambere's group was supposed to drop his gun and negotiate with the government like him, then the state would have disbursed 130 billion francs only for Nambere's group.
Can you imagine?
Work. You see, I think that this whole thing was misconceived. It was misconceived and mismanaged. Because if you have a thing like that, you have to get the people who are dropping their guns commit themselves somehow. You don't give them blank checks, fake promises. Please let them tie their hands somehow. I find it personally very difficult to take somebody who has been used to the bush, used to arms, used to kidnapping, used to killing. You carry him and tell him that he should become a civilian. I have a big problem with that. I don't know why this government did not open the option of absorbing some of these boys into the army. I don't know. I mean, to me, it would have made more sense for people who have been handling arms to be absorbed into the army and given and redeployed inside there, retrained and redeployed. But to carry them and believe that they will become good civilians, sir, it is not feasible.
Okay.
You can now see what is coming out from Nambere. He thinks that the state is his plantation and he can sit and more money will be coming. I want to tell you that this gentleman, from the type of names I see him citing, surely has been misinformed that billions were given for the project. And if he makes noise, more money will come out. I am very sure he has been misinformed because, like somebody was saying, he thinks that if he talks, Prime Minister will be sacked. How does that profit him? If the Prime Minister were to lose his job, how would that profit him? If the billions were not given and no billions were misappropriated, how will that profit Nambere? So I think that the government ought to rethink this strategy, this thing of DDR. Do you really think that it is appropriate? Because you say drop your guns against some financial contribution, it is going to weigh heavily on the state. We are talking of only Kupe Maninguba, as he was saying, 6,500. Then what about the entire southern Cameroon?
Okay.
How many billions or trillions will you be needing to pay all the fighters? Please, that is not the solution.
Let us take a listen to Kawa Yannick, who also had to react to what Nambere had to say on that viral social media video.
Yeah, good afternoon, my fellow brothers and sisters for Cameroon and all over the world. My own name is Kawa Yannick Kawa. I want to do this video in response for thing way it don't just happen a few days when Nambere do one. Date today na 5th of June 2022. Yeah, I did so now for my house. You can see I be playing on my game. I'm picking this from my corner. Yeah. So my fellow brothers and sisters them, my papa them, my mama them, it don't stay where I come up with a video, but this it don't reach for time where I personally I need to come back. Some things in the way they don't go wrong. We some of una no know. Yeah, ma just go straight to the point. This video I do am purposely for Nambere. Some things the way you don't know where I want making me understand. My brother Nambere, firstly, you need to understand, say you never surrender. You are a paid political product. You no pass through DDR Center. Now the reason that way, sometimes the day way I be very angry. Say the people the way they come out Nigeria and come Cameroon, we no be see them for DDR Center. But the team be make a pass. And for all is set where they become on Nigeria, none of them know the DDR Center. Yes. And if the talk says he don't make more than 600 fighters, and do you know the number of fighters that are where for the both 2 DDR Center, both Northwest and Southwest? You work a line awaiting. My brother Nambere, you should be very careful. You never surrendered. They pay you, not pay you. Before you pretend like so you don't surrender. Now the reason that way, since you come, it cause now one problem to another. So up to an extent where you talk say the even regret why I lay down your weapon. Who be beg you? Me lay down the weapon. Who beg you? You fight for side. You be on. Yeah, Nambere. Who beg you fight for side? What can they make fraud? You been a fraudsters. Like man like you. You make which kind noise so? See some man where they pay you some of money before you give that. Now why do they blame this as state authorities? Me they not bring in money, propose money for any fighter before he lay down the arm. We the whole lay down our arms and so don't wait without no money. Wait till the worry we. No be the DDR Center, my fellow countrymen them, our elites them, we will do a back negotiation with fighters them. So when I propose the money, where you propose a fighter money, you don't bring a more problem for the society. If any fighter reason and find for himself, he go lay down his arms. Now why that when Nambere the see himself, let's say be more important. Nambere you come daddy as a criminal, you come daddy, you can't turn. You know if you stay for daddy run. You know that I give up for April 2019. From May 2019. Or yes, from May, that very April, I did Fako. May, I enter Kumba. I left Kumba for 2020. That means Kumba, I work for Kumba. We Adolf a man with them. I did Kumba. Stand and make noise. You surrender, I don't do it. Nambere, you are a Nigerian. You are not a Cameroonian. You say you get Nigerian identity card, you get Nigerian passport, you get Nigeria, everything Nigeria. So you are a Nigerian, not a Cameroonian. My brothers and sisters, now right time for you for no backseat them amongst us. Where you no get in for talk, just you quiet, don't make noise. That money where they give, if na me for $100 money, my brother forget one of the biggest businesses around my area where they. Me I surrender since they integrate my people them. where I surrender with them. They just left me. They say, Kawa, just be, you have a lot to be doing, so you cannot go now, this and that. Since long up till now, I just still
Fabrice Lena, you've listened. Yeah, very difficult one there for the government. Yeah?
Mr. Leo, I wouldn't say that it's a difficult one for the government. The government crave its own grief, that it's suffering. When you see a difficult food and then you are going to chew, you know that to swallow it will be difficult. Mm-hmm. Yes. Most of these things that happen, especially in the Anglophone crisis with all these things, sometimes when people say that we have experts in our government, I ask myself, but is it that the experts deliberately do wrong things? Or is that people overhype them? Seriously. Because sometimes when I look at it, it's inconceivable for me. Conflicts have not happened only in Cameroon of this nature. Conflicts have happened in Africa, in countries that some of these government officials have served there, like genius foreign representatives in different commissions. But I wonder that they will come to our own situation. You will start appeasement by a transaction. When leadership is transactional, the foundation will always, at the end, fail. Because what is done in the dark, in a system, it will not stay in the dark for long. Those type of negotiations will always fail in the long run. And this is the consequences. I had always given a question mark to the issue of DDRO because for me, I think that the government is missing a very big point. That is why today we keep on crying and insisting that there is necessity to look at question of form of state. It will be very easy for all ex-fighters to be absorbed in what we call state army. Very easy. If Northwest becomes a state, Southwest becomes a state, it will be very easy with a strategic security plan. All of them will be absorbed to state army. Even if not state army, why not why not national army? Even if not national army, why not junior security officers? They have created what they call special security forces, which are the one to secure their own zone. Because what they call vigilante groups. Those vigilante groups in some countries are a special wing of the army for people who have done experimental cessation wars, such that they are given some, put on salaries, given certain abilities with limitations, and they control themselves and manage security of their own area of origin. But when it comes to our own situation, we will start hearing that there was a negotiation and a phone call between this. I can play the audio so that you hear it. This so and so person was there to do this. This so and so billion. Taxpayers of Cameroonians are distributed in that manner. Sometimes it makes us politicians, we are angry because it's aching to hear that you are buying this product like this in the market, which net value, what we call market price, is 20,000, but you are buying for 100,000 because of additional prices or indirect taxes, and that money is being gathered like this to go and negotiate for some kind of deals that is going to put. How long can you appease such kind of people? You cannot. They should go and ask what happened in 1930 to 1939 with aggressors. People who hold gun cannot be appeased. Because if today we were to establish Truth and Reconciliation Commission, when I look at all these people who are carrying out transactions, please do not forget that Cameroon will change. Cameroon will change. Because Winnie Mandela fought when her husband was in prison in South Africa. But when Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission was opened in South Africa in 1994. She was called in the commission and she confessed. So please be warned now to be claiming the identity of Cameroon, everything of Cameroon, this and that, and then you have killed. You have committed human right violations. And then you are saying it. It's a criminal. And then you are accepting it. And then you have traceable accomplices to the government.
Okay.
You know, so government is complying with criminals to make something that will not work. So citizens at the end are the ones that are suffering. Cameroonians. Okay. Oh God.
Susie Sparks, you there? I'll come back
this
to
country,
you. I'll come back to you. Please. Susie Sparks, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now, how would you describe the action of Nambere? You think that he did that on his own, or he is pushed? There are some strings pulling his actions from behind.
Okay. I love because for me, when you go on Nambere, na total foolishness. And Nambere, now because of hungry, money not there, because the money where they give Kwadaram. And he conspirator them. He get people the way he work with them. When they try to blackmail PM. So the way they shop for PM, the next person will come in. If they will come in, can take another money, so they want this and people. We were one country fix, we know what another happen. So now the action is totally wrong. It must go to the repair to what the arrow.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. So you say now people that they machinate behind for pushy make it go, but I listened. You said earlier on say number need for ask for excuse from some people the way they are orphans and today because of what number do.
Yes, he gave for ask forgiveness from Gionamata family, and I think the commissioner, assistant commissioner in Kumba, and others. He gave for ask forgiveness from them. Now there was a tongue, a thief. So he needs to repent. And though I need to talk to people that push me, but he was a tongue before. We just put people who operate with them to do all this coming work and blackmail.
Now, how can you describe his situation? He's in Nigeria today. Do you think you can talk him for people to still trust him this way or in Nigeria?
Never. Nobody. I mean, no government official should ever talk Nambere.
Are you not a Christian? The Bible says we should forgive.
If Nambere need our forgiveness, it gets for start apologizing to all those people who hurt and all the people the way he feel like say he overshadow them to apologize to them. One they never ever apologize. One they ever forgive me.
Okay, Susie Sparks, if you get one message for tell Nambere, now what you go tell him?
He never do the right thing. He never apologize for all the people that way don't hurt them, and he never pass through GT and do the right thing. He needs to be right on blackmail and extortion. It's so painful.
Nambere say PM na adoptive father. He get for ask for forgiveness too from the PM.
A big no, the thing I say, if you don't first say Sako na papa, now he and my papa, those two words the way to come, it's different. He can show you repentance.
Okay, thank you. We'll be coming back to you. How would you describe Nambere's situation? He has worked with the separatists. He's not in their good books. He came over to the government here, and many thoughts, beliefs that they could work with him to normalize issues, like you said earlier on, that the government's effort is to bring peace. Today, how would you situate him? Is between the fire and the sea and the ocean?
Yes, I think that the Nambere situation, from the beginning, even when he had not yet laid his arms, I was watching some of his videos in terms of, I call it propaganda videos. And if I look at the situation now, I just know that he is more of an opportunist, which means that taking advantage of situations at hand to sail through, which is always dangerous if you have those kind of persons around you. As I said earlier, that if I look at the move with Nambere, I think I'll cue with Susie Park, who says you have to eat with him with a very long spoon, because somebody who's unpredictable. You can even tell him, please just leave your arms for now. Just tomorrow he starts saying that you wait. One who said this and that. You know, it's like a woman who gossips. So if you can't keep secrets around you, and what is preoccupying, I must be able to be honest. You want to listen very well. I would employ the ministry's concern to rethink on the approach for those at the DTR centers. Because when these videos begin to go out, it might cause another form of radicalization and another thought in their minds. Me, I leave my gun. They not give me money, so I don't leave the gun. They give you 25 million or whatever the case might be. It means we'll be fool. You know, these things can start triggering in their minds. And when it starts triggering, you never can tell what might happen in the guys who are there in the next long run. It means that there should be a fast move from the regime to get back to the guys in the various centers to get things in order, because this is already a fast radicalization we are getting here. It means that it's like somebody say, Sagat. See, I don't give me money. All right. Ma told if you talk better, I spoil any my offers come over there under my name, follow me for coverage, me run going, me Otis spoil. So you can see it's a mentality that is, if I am not the one eating, then better all of us should perish in the boat. And so it's very difficult, and I think that the regime watching us should not take these things for granted. But as I said, I understand there was a network. If you go to Njian, we had another network built there. That one was a network built up by some traditional rulers. They understand what I'm talking. I don't want to dive into those things in Italy. In which case, many of them moved to areas, had to present this is one, collected something to come and drop somewhere, that is an ex-armor fighter. So the mechanism the government used, which means it kills the patriotic tendency from square one. That if you drop your arm, I pay you. So some traditional rulers who also entered the network could move to their villages, convince you come out, and they drop you somewhere, and they went somewhere and collected their money. You can now see that it was selling patriotism for money. That is the consequence we're finding here now. So the network and the mechanism foundation, because it was wrong, I think that the government should now get to think that if you want to get next combatants, you should be able to use a different form of communication to them. So all those who are at the forefront of that network, that most of us know them, should now be thinking of another strategy, so that we had viral videos, even at the level of Bafusa somewhere, when I can't start for here, oh, can we then see una, someone can't take una go, and then they will do this. It's not today. Mr. Leo, I hope you once got about that. I don't want to call names because we know people who have eaten fat. I tell you that while some people are dying, others are making huge financial gains from the particular scenario. And that's why when you host a program sometime, who are those who don't want the war to stop? These are the kind of persons. Because they want it to go on, so they can be requesting. Each time they eat 25 million is finished, or 10 million is over, they start intimidating. Maybe a government official, they say, if you know that I have your record. I have your record in my phone here. If you don't do this to me, you the G or you the minister, I will send the viral. So the man will hurry and go and send 2-3 million. And the man is sending, that kind of person will keep on demanding until the kingdom come. It's like a man who cheats on his wife, who goes somewhere after cheating on the wife, the concubine tells you, if you don't give me money again, I can't tell a woman. Now you keep giving. A day will come, tell him that I can't tell a woman. No, get up in the morning and tell her, why that, Mama, I will cheat on you. I'll be sorry. So the day the woman is coming, she will only come to receive beatings from the wife, because the wife already narrated the entire ordeal and you pleaded for forgiveness. Also, so now when the wife is coming, you tell me, Madam, your mother says to me, the wife will get you well beaten and it ends the show. If not, the whole scenario will continue. This is number coming out. We don't know. Some other person will take advantage of this. You'll get the point. And you can get the one money and get another viral video. Then I spoke with this minister, I spoke with this director, and he gave me money and all the like. So many persons can be implicated in this trash we're getting here, And so it is time for the government to sit up and call a spade a spade. But I think that promises that are made constitute this problem. Mr. Leo, you cannot tell me that a man who is in a bike rider who used to get 2.5 per day, and sometimes he will even struggle a day under sun and rain, I will not even get that 2.5. And then, out of a sudden, the same person who used to have 2,250 per day now is in the bush with a gun and could get somebody. He could get maybe Leona, or can get me, and then he gets millions. And you tell him that from his 2.5 now to a millionaire in the bush, that he can kidnap and get money. They get one man and tell him that no, leave that gun, we'll give you 50 million. He now knows that there's something good coming more than what he was getting in the bush. Now, you did not preach patriotism to him, you said preach money to him. Now, most of them, that was what caused the strike and the subsequent strike action, or the would-be strike actions in the first GDR center. Because many who come say, eh, so the baby fed I can't rent a pig. How long would the pig take to grow? It means that they had given money in his head. Now he's looking at, it has to take months for pigs to grow. Chicken will take you about 4-5 months after serious feeding, which will say one chicken 2.5. But in the bush there, he could just sit and get 3 million, 4 million in his account. So these are the things that I said, the foundation that was built in getting these guys out is what is backfiring already. Government needs to retain. If not, they too are heading towards another kangaroo inclination.
Now, following what is happening with Nambere and some others who may not be talking, but can we see this as a classical case of blackmail or a failed strategy? What should government do next?
Mr. Leo, let me finish with Mr. Far first. You asked him whether Nambere was between the devil and the deep blue sea. And I got in one of his videos that he said he was going to bring out 30 armored cars. So I asked myself the question, after all this is one-man show, which amber fighter will want to work with Nambere so as to give him the opportunity to go bring the armored cars? They will all know that he wants to come to the bush only to make money. Nobody want to work with him. The way he comes to the side of the government, you deal with somebody in the dark, you bring everything exposed that in broad daylight. So who will receive Nambere in the government sector? So he has declared himself a social and a bush outcast. So I don't know who will ever treat with him again. Now that his late motive seems to be to bring down the prime minister and all those who are in charge of managing this affair. So I think that Mr. Nambere has just demonstrated to us that he's a blackmailer. Like I want to agree with Susie Sparks. He's a blackmailer. I want to agree with Kawa Yannick that he is not an honest man because he has never dropped down his weapons. I don't know. Others we saw other videos of others giving their weapons. I've never seen his own. On the contrary, we saw him on this video with 3 AK-47. So he's not repentant. They say he's unrepentant. But of course, a man who tells you that he will bring down 30 armored cars, he is not repentant at all. He is more non-repentant because he has killed people, and as my sister says, he has never asked for any excuses from anybody. So in fact, this man is a criminal. That his amnesty should be revoked. Let them call him back and send him to where he belongs. He is a common law criminal. He is a common law criminal. They should bring him, let him answer for the death of Dionamata and all the others he has killed. Because I mean, it's outrageous. You can't have this type of thing. We hear some people complain of state terrorism. This is one man terrorizing a state. So I think that, in fact, he should comfortably stay with his Nigerian nationality, because he has told us that he is Nigerian. All his papers are Nigerian. He wants us to give him. How can you be Cameroonian and then you're asking for Cameroon nationality? Master Nama, you don't have a birth certificate. That will enable you make ID. So somebody has to make ID for you and they come and give you. It simply means he is not a Cameroonian. It looks like one of these children who left Nigeria and Bakassi side, came to Indian division there, spent some time, and now they're claiming to become Cameroonian. This man should look for his real origin. I don't think he's a Cameroonian.
Okay. how better should the government engage in working with guys who have dropped their weapons?
Well, like I said before, the government need to review their strategy of the whole conception of absorbing the ex-separatist fighters. You know, someone who has already dealt with the guns is a complex person. Their experiences are not the same with that of a nominal or standard civilian. So if I were to advise those in Yaoundé dealing with ex-separatist fighters or those who are still in the bushes, please beware that when you are doing a transaction where money is involved and some other person have seen that you are a fertile soil that he can cultivate and harvest very fresh fruits, then you have to rethink of not dealing with that person based on transaction, but based on transformation. Because if they were transforming these people to something else and making them to have a standard that they will continue with from where they stop, I don't think we'll be having all these issues. So they should be transformational and not transactional. That's what I want to say. And secondly, for the fighters themselves, I think that when we talk of liberation war or struggle, you are supposed to have a vision, a conviction. You are fighting for a cause. You are fighting for a people. But when we look and watch the videos that people are making and things people are saying, we have the conviction that there had never been a collective interest, but people's individual interest seeking to put money in their personal pockets and in the name of something that is actually experimental, causing insecurity, putting the lives of people in danger, and it's all about propaganda. We have to tell people the truth that it is really aching that after 6 years, blood is still flowing. People are still dying. Some people have displaced themselves, lost all properties. Some children have not gone to school. With all these humanitarian consequences and human rights violations, people's interest is their money that have not been paid by some people. Where has the vision of the revolution gone to? Where have the struggle gone to? Where are the patrons of the struggle? Some of us, when we want to say that our reforms should be that of putting the people at the center of things you are doing and looking at the collective interests of the society before your individual interests, they say that we want to do national politics, we are doing like that. But that is the truth. Those who said they wanted to defend a group of people, are they actually defending a group of people? Is it what we are seeing today? Is it all these video calls, these transactions, money here and there? It pains me a lot, Mr. Leo and my senior people, co-panelists and Cameroonians. It pains me to feel that about billions have been put into the DDR, something for transactions, when we don't even have a center under government control for registration of IDPs. Who are the consequences of the actions of these people? And that is why it makes the common man to begin to say the politicians, the big people are striving over our misery. But it's these type of things. And then you see that other people will choose gun because they know with the gun I will get what I want. Yeah. It's terrible, please. Let's try to think of our mindset. In other countries and other places, when we even heard of people who were fighting for liberation, they were consistent. They had visions. They tell people something and they stand on it. I hope that you people have seen how the United Nations and the diplomatic world now functions. Because some people see we need to rally behind structurally, legally registered organizations and parties to ask for change. Because all this animosity, all these things that people are doing will not take us anywhere, please. Dear people of Northwest, Southwest, dear English-speaking Cameroonians, dear Southern Cameroonians, dear West Cameroonians, whichever name you want, please rally behind an organization legally registered. Because the constraints and the politics behind whatsoever thing you are fighting for, you don't even know it. And then until videos like this are met, names are called, some people's intention of making some people to leave some offices, and whatsoever transaction has taken place, before some people's eyes are open that, hey, so we were thinking that This is what is actually happening. So please look for the right information. Know people who want change for your society. Support only such people and work with legality. Irrespective of how bad Cameroon constitution is, let's respect it first.
Okay. Good evening, Leo and your esteemed panelists. Following your evening topic with keen attention, I just viewed Yannick Kawa's footage. Unfortunately, I didn't see that of Nambere. While I hail the efforts of government for getting the likes of Nambere out of the bush, I also want to chide government for not properly managing these boys. It's not once that these ex-fighters have agitated against poor treatment. We know how fragile these fighters are. Nambere's case is not an isolated case. Rightly or wrongly, he has cried out more than once against threats to him. Think Nambere should have been carefully watched over. Trying to blackmail the PM is very condemnable and unacceptable. Larry Essong, the CEO of the Scoop Media Group, writing there, we're glad to note that you are watching the program DP from Kumba. Good evening to you. Tell me who you move with. I will tell you who you are. Okay? You're talking about the persons that Nambere works with. Susie Sparks, we will be asking you these last questions. Now, what are the lessons you have learned from what is happening? We listened to Kawa Yannick, who is an ex-fighter, and then we also have the reaction of Nambere to say that not everybody dropped their weapons with the same motive.
Please, my network is not all that way good. Please, can you repeat what you said?
Yes, I'm saying that you saw Kawa Yannick's outing as a response to Nambere, and then when you get what Nambere is saying, is this also telling that some persons are dropping their weapons with different motives? Not all of them are genuine.
Of course, not all are genuine. Some don't even have the guts to even open their mouth. So according to it, Kawa Yannick talk, before anyone make that video, we don't first talk for group, for a private group. We try to like talk to you because as we make that video, other people then they will start following footsteps, which is not good.
What you check say government get for do with some other people then where they go drop their weapons, and the one the way they already drop their weapons. If government get for learn sense from what Nambere they do.
See, government no get no negotiation, no negotiation with any terrorist. When you drop, you go through the process of DDR. From there, you can be integrated into the society. Government no own no terror with anything. Can they pay those? Can they give back the lives of those other people they took? So government no do anything. If they don't affect them for society, that's a good step.
Now, what if you tell the fighters the way they did DDR center now?
Now for them to go through their process, they integrate them to society, and also get people of good people where they would like to get people to see what start them. Yes, that is employed from DPR. When some of them won't go through this process, they are employed to the society.
Now, your last word for the government and the people of Cameroon.
My last word to the government, I don't get much to say to the government. I say they did not negotiate with any terrorist. If any terrorist drop weapon, it go for DGR from there. give return the intervention to society. Anyone there for one employee or 2 people to do anything, I performing work for you, fine.
Okay, Susie Sparks, thank you for participating in today's edition of the program. Now, Far Evis, what are the lessons, take-home lessons from what is actually prevailing? Because many quarters are not very, very comfortable with what is emanating from Nigeria, and then we get the response from Kawayani, who has been silent for some time, and then we know that others are also agitating.
Well, the take-home message I have for the government, while interjecting with what Susie Spark just said, is also the fact that if we want to solve a problem, we must be able to use tactical means that are equally acceptable in conflict resolution.
Okay.
For example, when she says no negotiation with terrorists, you spoil the whole show back. You destroy the entire thing. Because in as much as they have held, they are holding guns, but now the manner in which we approach them also matters. And that's why I said that there are some persons that till their kingdom come, the government cannot still convince them to lay down their arms, except the leaders who gave them those guns, and the leaders who are feeding them with money, who can call them to order. So because of this, if we think that we're moving towards peace, it means that we should be giving another appellation, our brothers, because they are our brothers, whether we like it or not. The father, he holds a gun. At least sometimes we know most of them. We're interacting with them. We have gone to school with some of them. So they have not come from the space. So the appellation we use will matter as a first approach if we want to solve this issue. The second aspect is the fact that the aspect of no negotiation is out of place. Because I'll tell you, negotiations have taken place with some of them. So if probably we say no negotiation, it's a farce. There is a system, even when some of the government officials are abducted, we know that even in the Far North region, when Kawa Yige Jibri's wife was abducted, when he went to the area in Far North region, in this area there were negotiations before the wife was released. Amadou Ali. Thank you, Amadou Ali. When that happened, there were negotiations before the wife was released. But those who kidnapped the wife were not normal people. They were gunmen, whom you could equally you could call them Boko Haram. So there are some issues that sometimes we still cannot negotiate. But when sometimes come for the sake of peace and to prevent the loss of further souls, negotiation becomes inevitably, whether we like it or not. Besides, Mr. Leo, the way forward in this is that, as I said, in political science and in conflict resolution, once you use a wrong formula, the end result of it becomes also wrong. Which means that I will be calling on the government, if you begin backdoor negotiation and cosmetic measures in this conflict, the triggering effect will continue to be negative, and the boomerang effect will come back onto the government and onto the people who are expecting things to be better in the days ahead. Therefore, if the government means business, you want to get to those who are fighting, get through the right channels. As I said, if I meet you who is the one supplying weapons to these people, and you are in the diaspora, I talk with you some degree of honesty. You can easily tell them, please, move wait first. The Israel understand me. Sometimes you might have to shift your position from sitting on a high Trojan horse to come down to the grass level, just for the semblance of peace. Then after you can get back to your high Trojan horse. It will do us a lot of good, because, Mr. Leo, the truth is that we are tired of losing lives every day, and because of cosmetic solution. And some of these things are caused by the songbird elites who keep on telling that things are under control, when things are deteriorating every day and the war is changing its face. This is metamorphosis we're talking about. The first time with the then guns and coming to start on the street in Ekiliwindi, gun to gun with the military is no longer there. Now explosive device is there. Now it's guerrilla warfare of the highest order. And before you know it, you see that you will not get gunshot in an area for some time. But when the guys calculate, the moment there's the least chance, you get it, you see the hit, and casualties are recorded. So, in a nutshell, let us understand that the gimmicks are changing. It is only the truth. Government you have fought at, the fighters you have fought at, we bring them to a table, they'll be able to have a leeway. The Bible said, no, nobody can negotiate with the government. The government has the right to say that. You are just bringing grammar in the air. Because the day your family member is touched, you will know that even as much as you call them terrorists, sometimes if they kidnap your mother, you'll be forced to negotiate. Papa, you be terrorist here, but I beg, we'll do how? That way you know that negotiation comes in. But if you have not been touched as a victim, okay, the grammar will continue.
Okay, the grammar will continue. Senior Barrister, what are the take-home lessons from what is prevailing?
Thank you, Mr. Leo. We see that Before Nambere, there was Success in Congo, who also came out with his own video and his own revelations. And before all that, we saw the wrangling in the diaspora, the IGs and all that. So all this just indicate that the government have been trying to divide and rule. They want to solve the problem with this part of the IG, this part of this other one. They want to take some fighters away, get some people to go convince. Please, all that is like my kangaroo brother calls, all that cosmetic solution. Let us sit down on the table. We all know what went wrong. If you want to take the word democracy, define it. Government of the people, and for the people. 1961, what happened? Was it government of the people of Southern Cameroon, for the people of Southern Cameroon, by the people of the Republic of Cameroon? That vote that took place, was it by the people of Southern Cameroon? It was by the people, by the Assembly of the Republic of Cameroon. We all know that is wrong. Let us sit on the table and refound a solid Cameroon state as it should be. Let us forget hypocrisy, forget lies telling. No need wasting billions on people like Nambere, Success Congo, and all those ones. Sit or put us on the table. Let us speak frankly, eyeball to eyeball. Do what is supposed to be done for peace to return to this country.
Okay.
It is no longer necessary for us to wasting time and keep killing ourselves, destroying the country when we don't even have much.
Okay, thank you, Senior Barrister. Nice program, bro. Does it mean that Susie Girl can't express herself only in Pidgin? No, she says that she's speaking in Pidgin so that most everybody in the Northwest and Southwest can get what she is saying. Dr. Yimbu Emmanuel says that getting fighters from the bushes and abandoning them in DDR centers without proper follow-up is extremely dangerous to the society. Come to Boy and see how these boys go about terrorizing and begging money from people in the quarters. Good evening to you, Dr. Yimbu. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please, I wish you join me on Prime Hour WhatsApp forum. I'm called Tita Inuhu, an agricultural engineer and lover and follower of your program. I think it's better the government looks for lasting solutions to this crisis and stop bribing fighters that will end up insulting them tomorrow. Good evening to you. Ions Techno, watching your program from Bangem. Hi, Mr. Liu, I'm watching your program live from Bangem. Good evening to you. Glad to know that you're watching us this evening. Good evening to you in the studio. So many of our authorities have enriched themselves in the course of this war. The number restitution is a clear indication that there are a group of authorities extracting from government while giving these guys peanuts. Many of those carrying on such activities are those who are running down this country. The government needs to start investigations for a total clear-cut, because the perpetrators of these acts are within the government. The game is ongoing as long as the war continues. Terence is writing from Mutengene. Good evening to you. Muhammadu writing from Yaoundé says, good evening, Mr. Liu and co. I think the politicians in the Northwest region needs to do more to table their projects up there. Special evening to my man, Fabrice Lena. Good evening to you. Divine Bakati says, good evening, Mr. Liu. If we talk of repentant number fighters, then we are suffering from moral naivety. Have they gone through the psychological screening, de-radicalization, and have they openly apologized for their crimes committed? Good evening to you too. Good evening, Mr. Leonard. I love what you are doing for us. Keep it up. Thank you very much to you watching. Good evening, Mr. Liu and crew. Arrogance have led us to where we are. My prayers every day is to see it come to an end and see Bamenda that used to be booming is a shadow of itself. Where did we go wrong? For goodness sake. Derek Wala is writing from Chang. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Kum. The reaction of these guys shows they are better fed than even the military men. Why can the government not just recruit them into the military? The ministers in charge are responsible for the actions. Some high people up there are better because of the negotiated deals, have percentages or part payments. Felix is writing from Bomenda. Good evening. Good program. Their title, okay. Thank you very much. Good evening. I think Nambere should be sent to jail. Oliver is writing from K-Town. Mr. Leo, good evening. Nambere should repent and pray very well because the blood of innocent Cameroonians is still working on him. Instead of him trying to beg for forgiveness, he wants the Prime Minister to pay his flight and he should go and enjoy abroad while the homeless, the orphans, the cripples are suffering. Mr. Liu, if Nambere thinks that he will be free, he is fooling himself. Mbu Zakari, writing from Vikovi, Jakiri subdivision. Hi, good evening to you. We are lastly out of time. Well, yes, your last words, please.
I will just say special greetings to my friend Faith watching in Yaoundé, to Inu, our engineer, the new PAB member in Banga. We are coming very soon. Young Cameroonians, let's drive the vision of our country ahead. Let's consolidate ourselves to change the political narrative of the country. It is only competitive politics, constitutional democracy that will lead us to change.
Okay.
Forget about all these things that are happening. Let's focus our energy on the real thing. Reform Cameroon.
Okay. Oh, reform. Yeah. Okay, we want to thank you all who came to this the edition of the program. Thank you to you, Fa Evis Tayong, and to you, Barrister, Senior Barrister, and to you, Fabrice Elena, and to you, Susie Sparks, who took part through Skype. We hope that next time you're going to be with us in the studio here. Thank you to the production team, Eli and Desmond, and to you, Tabi Tambe Bryant, supervising the work we do out there. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.